morning, maybe it's midnight as well, wherever it is, or possibly the afternoon. Today we're going over, you've guessed it, Kujou Sara today on the channel here. If you guys like this video, you want to see more Kujou Sara stuff, because I might do a couple more on her, but we're going over all of her kit, how to extract the most power from this character, and her little bit of maybe possibly overcomplexed kit. Strap in and sit down. We're going to be doing that. And if you guys like the video, you guys want to see more stuff on this channel, make sure you subscribe, join the family. We're having new members all the time coming in. It's a blessing to see you guys out there, and also come hang out in the Discord, whatever it is that you want to do that. Now, Kujou Sara here, you guys know it already. She's there for the attack buff. She also can do some nice considerable damage, and that is something we're going to be talking about as we move through her kit, and we're going to be talking about why you should gear her in these certain ways. So talent selection here, we have a couple of different ascensions. So the level 70 talent here, this one is very interesting. A lot of people get hung up on this one and say, hey, I'm going to build her max energy recharge. So when your ambush, which is the feather that procs, that's the ambush, when that happens, she will restore 1.2 energy to all party members for every 100% energy recharge she has. This can occur once every 3 seconds. This thing is terrible. So if you have 300 energy recharge, you're gonna give 3.6 energy. If you build her for 0 energy recharge, which means you're at 100% the base, you get 1.2 energy. This is a 3-second cooldown. This energy regeneration is terrible compared to anyone else in the game. Like even like the Electro Traveler, who can restore, like, I don't know, what is it like if you have Ascension Constellation 4 now, like the Electro Traveler is like 30 something energy if they're sub 35%. This is terrible. So don't build her for energy recharge unless you need to fill up her 80 cost and her elemental burst here, because this thing's pretty expensive. A lot of you guys will be playing her with other Electro characters though, or maybe you're just going to be using her as a side support as well. But look at this thing here. It's got a very nice damage multiplier. We're level 9 here on it, 696. If you take this to 10, it's gonna be 737. That's pretty significant there. That's very nice from a burst perspective. So we're gonna be building her for damage that way as well. Then we have her E here, not as much of a nice multiplier, 213.8%. In this ratio here, if you take it to level 10, 77% attack bonus ratio. Just like Bennett, this is your base attack. So we're looking at some very nice weapons with high base attack. That's gonna help you out there a lot for this character. Now the normal attack here, if you want to level this up to squeegee out just a little bit more damage from her charge shot, you can do that. I haven't done it yet, but you can go ahead and do it, because you are going to be using your charge shot to actually place the arrow, and their charge shot is going to do a little bit of damage there as well. Let's touch on stats here. So this is mine. It takes a little bit of work. It just got her leveled up. She's got 55 crit rate. We're building her like a damage dealer. She has 127% crit damage, which is fairly low. Her artifacts aren't the best, but if you do have her at Constellation 6, you got that out there. It's gonna be an extra 60% crit damage. So I have that. It's gonna be 187% crit damage, which is nice there. 143% energy recharge, just a little bit to help her get that elemental burst up and active, because it is 80 cost, so it's pretty expensive there. So let's help her out there as well. Now you don't need to worry about elemental mastery. We're not doing some sort of weird electro charge build. No. And obviously we have 46.6% electro damage bonus, which you've guessed it, comes from our goblet. So let's get into our artifacts. So there's a couple of sets you guys should really think about here. If you're going for the full support 4-piece Noblesse Oblige, it goes very nice with her own attack buff there. So you have the straight up attack buff from her E, and then you also have the elemental burst, gives you 20% attack for your party for 12 seconds as well. She has a 20-second cooldown on that elemental burst, but extra attack to go with your attack buffer. It's like making a PB&J sandwich, except you're using just extra peanut butter for some reason, or you're ordering that pizza and you get that extra cheese and it's falling everywhere. You got attack everywhere. You can't put all this attack on someone. That is what this build is for there. Now there also is going to be another build that you guys can go ahead and use, and this can be 2-piece Noblesse Oblige for that 20% elemental burst damage, and then also 2 pieces of Thunder and Fury for that electro damage bonus. So if you don't care about that 20% attack for the rest of your party, maybe you already have someone else on 4-piece Noblesse, you can run this set as well. It's going to do the most amount of damage total. You're going to get a little bit of extra damage on that elemental burst, a little bit of damage on that E, that crow feather, a little bit of extra damage on that charge shot as well. And then there's this set here that I've been testing out, and you can use this set for burst setups if you have Constellation 2, and I'll show you guys the mechanics behind that later on how to use this character. And this is the Millicent set. So this is a set that you guys probably shouldn't use, but I'm using it right now on my raw damage team. As you can see, this squad right here, Zhongli, Raiden, Shogun, Kujou Sara in Bennett, and yes, it does work. The elemental skill does indeed do damage when you actually proc the feather, and this also works on her Constellation 2, the Dark Wing. So let's go show this off right now. Right now I have 2,349 attack. So say I just pop this and I get my own attack buff, right? I go to 2,935 on her. So if this does in fact work, like I'm about to show you, because it will, I promise. When I hit an enemy with that crow feather explosion and I'm standing in it, I'll get my own attack buff in the Millitheth. How do you pronounce this thing? Anyway, the Millitheth, whatever. I'll get the 4-piece, okay? All right, so pop this out, come in here, boop. And now we're at 3096. So it does in fact work there as well. And it also will work on your charge shot too. Boom, pop, refreshed it, good to go. Big fun, wheel noises, and just get in here. Yeah, chase me, brother. What? So anyway, this is a set that you can use. You can get about, 5-6 seconds off that buff there. You can also extend it with the good old C2, because you'll able to do something like this, like with the Raiden Shogun. You can plan it, and it has like a 2-second window. You get the 3-second buff, you'll shoot it again, right? And then it's gonna blow up again and refresh that buff. So you can get like 5 to 6 seconds. 6 if you're super good, she's about to die. 5 if you're just like placing it down, swap in, do something, hit him with the charge shot, arrow, good stuff there, fun stuff there. Now it's a hard set to use, but it's also a hard character to use, and I do indeed love this set. But only for those super burst damage teams where you just want to like amplify one thing and do a huge amount of damage for X amount of seconds. That is when you use this set. My personal recommendation out there, go for the 4-piece Noblesse, or go for the 2-piece Noblesse, 2-piece Thundering Fury. That's for the damage or the more supportive setup there for your Kujou Sara. Now for artifact selection here, as far as stats go, we're using a crit rate circlet. If you have like a giant amount of crit chance right on your substats, get a crit damage circlet, but crit rate circlet is going to make that very easy for you there as well. Electro damage goblet, we have an attack buffer because she is the attack buffer, so electro damage goblet, good to go there. I'm using an attack percent sands because building for energy recharge on this character, just honestly not really up to snuff on my opinion, man. That energy recharge for an extra, what, 0.6 energy or something, right? If I was to wear like a 50% energy recharge sands here, that's going to give me an extra, you've guessed it, 0.6 energy from her ascension. Not worth it. Just get the extra attack, make her do some damage for you as well. Then our substats here that we're aiming for: crit chance, crit damage, attack percent, a little bit of energy recharge because her cost on her burst is very expensive. Like we talked about, 80 energy cost. You don't want to sit there at 0 energy for forever. All right, get a little bit of energy recharge. That's gonna help you out there quite a lot. And it's a pretty cool combo. You're basically like, you activate E, swap back, shoot somebody in the face, and then swap back to Raiden Shogun and use your elemental burst. So you would pop this out, use this, get the buff, swap the ground, boom, 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 and then activate your elemental burst right away. And so that little delay on that feather, that's going to be the entirety of your animation for your elemental burst and Raiden Shogun. And then when it comes back out, boom, 6 seconds more on that big attack buff for the Raiden Shogun. And if you have the C6 Kujou Sara, 60% more crit damage as well. Now, important constellations, the one that I like to use a lot and the one we just talked about was Constellation 2. This thing's very cool. It allows you to get extra attack buffs off, allows you to extend that attack buff in that weird way we just demonstrated. That one's a very good one. On top of that, there is some other cool ones as well. If you go all the way to C6, this one doesn't snapshot because it doesn't apply to your stats. It just is some back behind the scenes sort of thing going on. So this doesn't snapshot with any elemental bursts in the game at all. So you have basically that 6 seconds, which is why C2 is so important, and knowing the mechanics behind getting that extra 3-4 seconds out of your attack buff, out of your crit damage buff is so important if you do have Constellation 6. Is it cool? Is it good? Yeah. Is it there probably to buff the electro element? But anyway, it's a very nice conjunction, the C2 and the C6. Is C2 worth it? If you're going to be using Kujou Sara a lot, I would think so. I've been using our multiplayer a lot, just spam attack buffs for everyone, right? Very, very cool setup there with Kujou Sara. Weapon selection, guys, this one's gonna be very easy. If you have a 5-star bow that no one's using, it's gonna have the highest attack at all your bows. Use that bow. You want big attack bows first. Why? Because your buff to attack is based off of your base attack. So you want the highest base attack off your bow possible. Do that first. Now, the best bow in the game for her is going to be the Skyward Harp. It's insane. Crit chance, crit damage, big A, huge base attack, all of the stuff that you want to see. Skyward Harp is fantastic. Alley Hunter is also a very nice bow for her as well. If you don't have either of those, just plop on some 5-star bow. Another good one here, if you're looking at 4-star bows only, you don't have like the Alley Hunter or anything, the Stringless is actually very nice because the vast majority of her damage is coming from her elemental skill and her elemental burst. Elemental mastery is a dead stat on her though, but if you're going for straight up buffage, right? Attack percent isn't doing anything for your attack buff. So this is going to increase your damage by a significant amount through your elemental skill and burst damage up to 48% if you have big refinement ranks on this one. Some other nice ones, if you just want attack percent, all the other bows are pretty good for her as well. The Hamayumi, right, in the charge attack bow like this, it's not the craziest thing because the charge attacks on her is like the smallest amount of damage that you can do there. And also you have to have your energy reached 100%, which is not really what she wants to do. She wants to elemental burst, charge attack, and whoops, you already elemental burst. You see what the problem with the Hamayumi there is. On top of that, it also has a very, very low base attack, so I would stay away from this one if you're using her as like a normal attack spammer. The rust is very good. It doesn't really increase any of the damage in her normal attack. And I know I'm gonna get one comment, what about the rust? Is the rust good on her? Well, all the stuff we talked about in this video so far, she's done everything but normal attack. So I'm gonna go with it's okay because it has attack percent on it. If you have nothing better to use it. But she's not gonna be in there, right, like Fischl and just, no, she's gonna pop your elemental burst, do a charge attack and leave. That's what this character does. I'm sorry. I know you're gonna do it anyway. And I know there's gonna be at least one comment, but please think of the children, think of the Electro characters. Don't do them like this. They're already suffering enough, okay? Now, team compositions, I mean, I don't know, man. What sort of attack buffer do you want? Also, do you have Constellation 6? Great. Maybe she's good with Electro characters. That's a possibility. No, but for real though, she's fantastic with Raiden Shogun. She's very good in an Electro team, even without the good old Constellation 6 like I have right now. This is my raw damage team. We have double attack buff, Bennett plus Kujou Sara. You can hit some wacky numbers with these characters. I've almost hit 5k attack with Raiden Shogun in this party. It's very, 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 very nice there. You could also do some other stuff with her. The problem is, yeah, Bennett is better than her, but you can only have one Bennett in a team in Abyss, and you have 2 teams. So if you need another attack buffer, Kujou Sara could be there as well. Now, other teams, she's got a little bit more weird and nuanced. You're gonna have to answer yourself a lot of questions. Why are you gonna use her over Beta or Fischl? Now, she does have that nice attack buff, so you can put her in there as like a superconductor sometimes, but she only has a couple ways to activate it, right? Her elemental burst. So go ahead and throw her on in there, guys, and you'll have a little bit of fun with her as well. I am gonna have another video on Kujou Sara because I do think a lot of her party capabilities is kind of held back by how awkward she can be to play. And bless you if you're on mobile trying to play this character. I can't wait to see some mobile screenshot of someone I'm playing on mobile. They're like, I'm gonna get my attack buff, and they just yeet it. They just yeet it down the corridor, and they're like, well, guess I should have aimed at the ground. If you guys had a good time, you want to see more stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button, come back, and I'll see you in the next one.